On the call of 3, 2, 1, go, athletes will work in male and female pairs, completing 60/48 cows for advance and 50/40 cows for the intermediate on their first machine. Men will row and females will ski. Once finished, the team will advance to the worm where all 4 athletes will complete 30 worm squats for advanced and 30 worm deadlifts for intermediate. For squats, the worm must rest on the same side shoulder of all 4 athletes. When squatting, all 4 athletes must ensure the hip crease passes below the knees at the same time and they stand to full extension before starting the next rep. After 15 reps, the team must switch the worm to the opposite shoulder before continuing, and if the athletes drop the worm at any time during the 30 reps or a no rep is given, athletes must drop the worm and do a 5 burpee penalty before starting again. For intermediate teams completing the worm deadlifts, the worm starts on the floor and all 4 athletes must be on the same side. The worm is lifted until hips and knees reach full extension with the shoulders behind the worm. Arms must remain straight throughout. After 15 reps, the team must switch to the other side of the worm to finish the remaining 15. Following the squats, advanced athletes will complete 30 shoulder to overhead. The worm must be on the same side of all 4 athletes at the start of each rep and finishes on the opposite shoulder after passing overhead with all athletes standing at full extension throughout the press. If athletes drop the worm at any time during the 30 reps or a no rep is given, athletes must drop the worm and do a 5 burpee penalty before starting again. Intermediate athletes will complete 30 worm squats with the same standard as already mentioned. Once all 30 reps of each movement are complete, the teams will return to the machines. Athletes will now switch roles, females will row and males will ski. They'll once again complete 60/48 calories for advanced and 50/40 calories for intermediate on each machine to finish event number 5. Upon the completion of event number 5, athletes will return immediately to the worm and begin event number 6. Advanced athletes will complete max worm thrusters in remaining time. Each rep starts with the worm on all 4 athletes' shoulders. The team will pass through a full depth squat and stand to extension, then pass the worm overhead to the opposite shoulder. Jerking the worm overhead is not allowed. The rep is complete when the worm is overhead on the opposite side before starting the next squat. For intermediate athletes, they'll complete max burpees in remaining time. Each rep starts with 2 men on one side and 2 women on the other. All 4 athletes must touch their chest and thighs on the floor at the same time before stepping up and jumping over the worm with a 2-foot takeoff. Athletes must clearly jump over the worm and not around it, and not make contact with the worm at any point during the jump. Otherwise, this will be a no rep and athletes will return to the initial side of the rep to complete the rep again. Event 6 will be scored as reps in remaining time.